Go ahead, God.
How would you assess how it's gone the first 3 rounds?
I feel like it's been a pretty good tournament apart from 2 holes on Thursday. Going double, triple on 15, 16 on Thursday wasn't ideal, but honestly, apart from that, it's been pretty good. Sort of liked how I've played, liked how I've hit the ball. A couple of the shots here and there, but overall, it's been I've been pretty encouraged with how I've played.
Were you surprised by anything at Pebble Beach, or just how, like, I guess Pebble, it's hard to get anything going.
Pebble was a bit of a write-off. It was like, sort of, again, like, it was like a very strange run on that first day. You know, going from 6 under to 1 under really quickly. And then it was just sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say I wasn't giving it my all, but it was just sort of one of those weeks where, it just didn't feel, I don't know, I wasn't fully in it, I guess. And then I did some good work last week. My coach Michael Bannon came over, and you know, I felt pretty good about everything this week, even though obviously not quite in contention, but the game's feeling pretty good.
The big number thing, I think you mentioned it, a big number or 2 up there. So if I could just get that out of there, I'll be in good shape, and then kind of crept back up instead of the first round here.
Yeah, but I guess the you know, those big numbers were with like bad tee shots or bad, I felt that the 2 numbers I made on Thursday were more around the greens, you know, sort of getting caught out with lies in the rough or in the bunker on 16, getting like a really awkward stance. So, I mean, I missed approach shots to get to that point, but still felt like, you know, I was sort of caught out by some awkward lies around the green more than anything else.
You ever have happened to you what happened to Jordan yesterday?
No, haven't.
Never signed him for a scorecard. Have you ever been late for a tee time or anything like that?
No, I've been close. I've been close, but never been late for tee time. Never been taking the wrong drop. You know, 2 weeks ago. But in terms of I mean, I think as professional golfers, I mean, it's sort of, you know, it's the one thing, and I understand with Jordan. I mean, he was hot coming off the golf course, and I mean, it's easily done, but just unfortunate for him and unfortunate for the tournament that he's not around.
There's obviously a healthy debate on social media whether the punishment that fits the crime of ingress scorecard. Where do you fall on that?
I can see both sides of it. You know, if we're really trying to keep this game like unbifurcated and, you know, trying to, you know, the pros play by the same rules as the amateurs, then you would say that we all need to keep our playing partner scorecards, and we're responsible for that. But I also see the other side of the coin where there's thousands of people watching us. Every shot's tracked on Shot Tracker and on the PGA Tour app. So is it really needed at this point? So I can see both sides of it, and both sides of the argument. I'm probably more of a traditionalist than anything else, so I would fall into the camp of, you know, it's worked for so long, you know, I don't think it really needs change.
As somebody who was very involved in kind of building up the signature events model for the tour, I'm wondering, did you feel like we got a glimpse at kind of a smaller field? Obviously they're still cut, but I'm wondering if you felt like we kind of got a look at maybe what the future of the tour would look like this week.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know how long these signature events are going to run for, if it's going to be a year and then they're going to look at them again and see what worked and what didn't work. But yeah, I think for you know, these really big events and the ones that carry a lot of meaning and history, Riviera, Memorial, Bay Hill, you know, those sort of events. Yeah, I think this week's worked pretty well. It would be great to have a couple extra guys still playing over the weekend, but you know, overall, I think it's worked pretty well so far.
You've talked about golf needing to be a global game. Some other guys have brought it up. Have you given much thought to what that might look like?
Yes and no. I mean, I think it's all pie in the sky stuff. It's all very, I think there has to be a component of the Southern Hemisphere, Australia, South Africa. There obviously has to be a component of the Far East, whether that be Korea, Japan, China, obviously the Middle East as well. I mean, we've been going to the Middle East for a long time, but obviously Dubai, Saudi, and then sort of working our way from east to west and back into the United States for the, for the sort of spring, summertime, go back, I don't think it'll look too dissimilar to what it is right now, but maybe the front end of the year and the back end of the year might look a little bit different. But I mean, I still think I don't think we need to blow everything up, but there definitely needs to be some tweaks, I think.
They couldn't be fulfilled.
No, I think for if you're looking for a global, I think you'd have tournaments that look a little bit more like this.
Rory, would those events in theory possibly fit count on the PGA Tour to the World Tour as well?
I would think it would be one tour. I think you just create a tour for the top 80 players in the world.
So does that mean that then you would not play the other tours? Or?
Yeah, then I think everything sort of feeds up into that one, like if the way I look at it would be like Champions League in European football. It sort of sits above the rest of the leagues, and then all those leagues sort of feed up into that, and the best of the best play against each other in the Champions League is the way I would think about it.
So you've been doing it your whole career, but do you think there's an appetite among youngish Americans to do that as well?
I think there's more of an appetite than there used to be. I mean, I think about Max and JT going down to South Africa at the end of last year and playing, and Max winning down there. I think there's more of an appetite for the young Americans to travel nowadays, maybe compared to the sort of 90s and 2000s. So, but again, you have to make it work for everyone. But I think for the most part, it has to work for fans and sponsors and media. And then if you can have it work for them, and you create a product that's really good for the fan, then honestly, I think you just have to convince the players to buy into it, because that's what's going to be best for them, especially if you're going to be an owner of that tour.
Rory, you just 2 minutes laid out a pretty simplistic idea. Has it gone farther than that, you think, within the important sectors of the game that would even enact that?
I think so, but again, I said this at the back end of last year. Everyone's got their own interest in this game, and that's what happens when you've got quite a fractured landscape at this point. So it's trying to align everyone's interests and trying to convince everyone that this is the right thing to do for the game of golf as a whole. And if you can convince everyone of that, then it would be pretty simple. But right now it's just trying to get everyone singing off the same hymn sheet.
All right, thanks.
If that tour existed, how many, for you personally, how many tournaments in the U.S. could you see yourself play?
I think there would have to, say if you do it, say you do a 24 event schedule, 4 of those being the major championships, so say there's 20, I'd say at least half of those, if not more. I mean, 10 or 12. I mean, you still have to, this is the biggest market in golf in the world, so you have to take that into account. But there's no reason why for other parts of the year that we can't go further afield and play in some of those big markets. I think would be beneficial, not just for those markets and those fans, but also for the tour as a whole and media partners and sponsors and everyone else.
Okay, thanks, Rory.